My name is Shally Katana, and I'm one of the directors here at MSBA. And we are very excited today to launch what we're calling our Fit Friday series. And this is a lunchtime series that we would like to continue offering in the next couple of weeks as we're all at home, to find ways to help ourselves physically, mentally, and just holistically, taking care of ourselves, taking time out of the day to move, to stretch, to talk, to laugh, hopefully, and just, have a good discussion here with our peers. And we're very excited today. We have Wendy Meadows, who's here with us. And she is, when she's not, off saving the world as a family law attorney up in Baltimore County, she is very focused on wellness and has a lot of training and experience that she plans to share with us today. She has been a family law attorney since 2005, and she's been very involved with MSBA and with the local Baltimore County Bar Association. We've been very thankful for her involvement and leadership in the Young Lawyers section and now in the Family Law and Juvenile section. And I will turn it over to Wendy to start this wonderful program.
Hi, everybody. It is so great to see your faces. I actually can't see mine, so if I'm too close or far, just yell at me and I will back up or come closer. But I was so honored when Angela first reached out to me to speak with you all, because when I first began this health and wellness journey about 4 or 5 years ago, I was always curious, what the legal community would think. Oh, what's Wendy doing with all this health and wellness stuff? And to see it come together and jive together so well, it really means the world to me. So thank you so much for having me on here. And just so you know, the format of how today is going to work, we're going to talk for about 20 to 30 minutes-ish about being a well lawyer and what that means. And then we are going to do a workout. And I don't want people freaked out if the workout is going to be too hard. I've made it like beginner/intermediate, and I'm going to give you options to make it easier or harder, because I see some people on here who I know are pretty amazing workouters, and I know other people might be like, no, I don't know some of you, so I don't know what your skill level is. So we're going to have some fun. Because of the sheer humidity and heat, we will probably be sweating no matter what. I know I'm already sweating in my office, and we haven't even started moving yet. But the beauty for the workout is you don't need anything but yourself, and we're going to do it, or I'm at least going to do it in bare feet as well, just to show you you can do that anywhere. All right. So the reason why I think I was asked today was, how can we best be well lawyers? And there's 4 touchstones there that I think are really important for attorneys. And they're as follows. And the first 2 are pretty obvious, but one, it's physically, what can we be doing as a lawyer? So in terms of our workouts, which is why we're going to be sweating today. It's nutritionally, like what we are fueling ourselves with. So we'll talk about that more. It is mentally, like how can we best safeguard ourselves and our brain and our heart? Because unless you're a lawyer, you don't know, sometimes, but this is a really hard job, because not only do we have to deal with our clients, but we're dealing with opposing counsel and other, sometimes difficult personalities. And we need, in order for us to best represent our clients and best advocate for our clients, we need to protect ourselves first. So mentally. And finally, the 4th is financially. Financially, how can we be a good lawyer? I know that's a lot to cover, so I'm just going to give you my overarching things that I have learned over the last 5 years or so. So that is what I think why we need those 4 too, is because as a lawyer, as you all know, what's really important for us is to be productive. And we cannot be a productive attorney without those 4 things. We cannot be a productive attorney without being physically fit, about mentally fit, feeling our body right, and productivity might mean, what you're bringing in for your family if you're a solo practitioner, or what you're bringing in for your firm, or what you are, doing for your client to help them save the most amount of money, since a lot of sometimes legal disputes do involve money, and how we can provide too for our families, which is really the financial piece for me. Okay, healthy body and output. This, we all know that exercise is important. Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not actually a personal, I don't have my credentials yet as a personal trainer, but we all know, we all know that it is so important for us to move every day. And I will tell you that as soon as you can have exercise be a habit, and as soon as that is something that comes naturally to you, the better you will do. I will tell you, for example, this morning I woke up, I didn't feel so great. I didn't feel so great because the nutrition piece, which I'll get to in a moment, but I just felt like blah. But then I went downstairs to my basement, I pressed play, I did my workout, I worked out for about 45 minutes, and then I felt freaking amazing. I felt all the brain fog was gone. Like my body didn't feel tired anymore, and I felt ready to start the day. And I will tell you that it was a really hard to start like 5 years ago. As you know, I have 2 little kids, and I couldn't imagine waking up every day at 6 a.m. and I couldn't imagine pressing play every day. But the minute I made that shift, that was like the first in like a series of dominoes for me. And it really opened up my world in terms of just feeling better. And when I feel better about myself, and when I feel better about how I'm starting my day every day, then again, it all boils down to like I do better work for my clients. So what I would implore you all to do is you don't have to do a crazy workout every single day, but to move at least 5 days a week. I'm also going to say, and try and make those be your weekdays. I know you might think, oh, I'll just do it on the weekends. I'll wait for the weekends. I have more time. You might feel like you have more time on the weekends, but I can guarantee if you can start each work day with a workout and sweating, sometimes that's when you're going to get your best ideas. Sometimes that's when you're going to go in the day and you're going to feel on fire and you're going to be like ready to start your day in terms of, you know, representing your clients. For me, what I really suggest is having a plan. So your plan might just be, I'm going to run 5 times this week. I'm going to walk 5 times this week for 30 minutes. But always to go into the week with a plan, or else you're going to wake up, be like, oh, I should work out today, but I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. And then you might end up doing nothing, or whatever you do might end up being sort of like half-assed. And you don't, like, if you're going to, like, our time, as you all know, is so freaking valuable. Like a lot of us here, like, we bill by the minute. So we know how valuable our time is. Why would you want to like spend useless time, like 20 minutes wondering what you're going to do? That seems silly. And then if you're going to devote half an hour to work out, don't you want to get the most out of it? So what I do, and this isn't a mystery to some of you, as I think some of you know me personally as well, but I'm a Beachbody coach. So what I typically do is I follow whatever program I'm doing at the time. Right now I'm doing something called 21 Day Fix Real Time. What that means for me is I have a calendar that's printed out. I have it on my basement wall. I go look at it, I'm like, okay, that's what I'm doing today. I load up my workout in my basement and press play. I don't work out at the gym. I don't go anywhere. I know no one can really work out in the gym right now, but I haven't worked out at a gym in, I'd say, like 4 years. Instead, I go downstairs, I load up my Fire Stick, I press play in my workout, and I'm dictated by whatever's on my wall. It's very rare that I don't actually have a plan. And having the plan, it takes out the guesswork, it makes it easier, and you know you're getting a really good workout. So whatever it is that you might decide you want to do, get a plan. And maybe it's like, I really want to run that 5K, then go online and Google, couch the 5K. Or it's, hey, I really want to train for this thing, like Google. There's so many free resources out there with a plan and a calendar, and you just like stick it to your wall and you do it. I can't emphasize how important that really, really is. And I would say 5 times a week, at least 5 times a week, you want to be working out. Back in the day, I used to work out, I think, like twice a week, and I thought that was like so amazing. I went to boot camp twice a week, and I didn't get any results. I mean, I got a little bit of results, but not really. If you're also looking for results, it has to be at least 5 times a week, I would say. It is very hot here. And the idea is where you want to get to it. So it's eventually a habit. So to the point where it's working out, whatever that might look like for you, is so natural. It's like brushing your teeth. And if you don't do it, you feel off. Like, for example, I know sometimes like Kirk and I go to concerts, and we go to a concert and we're out late, and we're doing whatever, and we get home super duper late, and then I wake up in that hotel room and like I should be like, oh, I should enjoy this time and sleep in, the grandparents are watching the kids. But instead I don't feel right unless I'm working out. Like it feels like I feel itchy until I do it. And it always makes me feel so much better, as counterintuitive as that may seem in the beginning. Yes, you're going to be sore in the beginning. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. But then once it becomes a habit and ingrained in you, like it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's amazing if you have children. It's amazing for your kids to see too. What I love is seeing like my fellow, moms and dads working out and the kids trying to do it too. And we are creating such an amazing legacy for them. So that is another important component. The next piece, as I said, to be a healthy lawyer, as we talked about working out, it's also about what you're fueling yourself with. And the best example I can give, and I'm not a car person, but maybe there's car people. Are there car people on here that have like fancy cars? Maybe not. I don't see anyone raising their hand, but pretend you have like some fancy car. I'm not a fancy car person either. But pretend you had a fancy car. You're not going to put crappy fuel into it. Pretend you spent $1 gajillion on this like really nice like Ferrari or something. You're not going to find crappy gasoline to put in there, right? So like your body, that is the only body you get. You're blessed with one. That is it. So doesn't it make sense to fuel our body with the best possible things we can fuel ourselves with? So for me, what that means is I have cut out, not always, because I'm not, that's what I should have led with. I'm not perfect. No one's ever perfect. I screw up. I screw up some of the time. All four of these things I'm going to talk about, I screw up, on a weekly or monthly basis. But like if I'm, Carl's laughing, but if I'm hitting it right, like 80% of the time, I'm good, right? All right. So for example, for attorneys, I don't know about you, but if I drink coffee at 2 p.m., I'm awake all night. If I drink soda, I haven't drank soda in a very long time, I'm awake all night and it makes me feel crappy. So lawyers, okay, like how can we fuel ourselves? How can we best fuel ourselves throughout the day so we can still do good work? It's going to hurt at first, but I'm going to tell you, sure, drink your coffee in the morning. I will never, ever, ever tell you to drink up your coffee, give up coffee, ever, but maybe lay off of it in the afternoon. And then you should be drinking lots of water. Even if you have to go to the bathroom all the time, drink lots of water and maybe some tea. I'm going to tell you to give up your soda. I'm going to tell you to give up your crappy drinks because even though you think they are fueling you, they're not. Even if you think those jelly beans you're having at 2 or 3 p.m. or you're going to the vending machine to get Skittles, and I know this because I've been there, even if you think those are so helpful because they're going to get you through your discovery, they're not. Like they will help you for maybe 5-10 minutes and you're going to feel a sugar crash and then you're going to feel crappy and then you're going to go home like I might as well eat crap tonight and then you're going to wake up the next day and you're not going to feel like working out and it's like it goes like this. And so what I'm going to tell you, the cleaner diet you can have in turn, once your body gets used to it, the more productive you're going to be. And I've seen that. I've seen that in myself. I used to think I needed jelly beans or Skittles or these things. And I can tell you with the help of other tools, I'm actually more productive than I was with candy. Here's something else about candy. We're going to talk about booze in a second too, because we're lawyers and I know we all cope with the wine. Like most of us, no, a lot of us cope with the wine. We've been to a young lawyer happy hour. We've been to liquid assets in Ocean City. A lot of us, unfortunately, cope with alcohol. I'll talk about that in a second. Pay attention to how you feel after a night where you've had too much sugar or too much wine or booze. How do you feel the next day? For me, I know my anxiety skyrockets. I know like if my anxiety is skyrocketing and I don't know why and I can't put my finger on like, why am I so anxious? I have nothing to be anxious about, but I feel like I wake up and my heart is beating fast, or I just don't feel right, or I feel icky, or I feel like everything is wrong and everything is terrible. I'm like, all right, Wendy, how's your nutrition been? What's your nutrition been like the last 5 days? And I can guarantee it's because sugar has slipped back in there or like wine has slipped back in there too much. Again, I'm never gonna tell you to drink up wine, give up wine forever. But like I noticed like the more sugar and the more alcohol sometimes you consume, for me, like the bigger the anxiety bubble is. And you're best served when you can like start backtracking from that. Is it always easy? No, but it makes such a difference. That's the other piece we talked about. Let's talk about booze. We're lawyers, like we know the culture. Like unfortunately, sometimes we've had a really crappy day. Our client has been crazy, opposing counsel has been crazy. We have been bombarded all freaking day with like emails and calls and whatever, and you just want to go home and have a glass of wine and unwind. Like, trust me, I've been there. And trust me, we've all been there a lot more lately with COVID. I would stand to reason. But I will tell you, you will feel better if you're like, you know what, not tonight. I'm going to do my weekdays free, weekdays and no booze. Instead, I'm going to go to bed early. And when you go to bed early, it means you're not eating crap at night. You're not consuming the booze. And you wake up the next day and you start to feel like a new person. And then day upon day, you do that during at least the weekdays, day upon day. And you start like, wow, I feel like $1 million. When you feel like $1 million, you're going to walk into your office and you're not going to be in a fog. And you're not going to be in a funk. And then again, you can be the best lawyer for your client because you are doing good work. So for me, what a healthy day would look like eating wise would be, I still drink coffee every morning. I'm not going to give it up, but I don't put crap in there. I've drank my coffee black since forever. So I don't have any dairy in there. I don't have any sugar in there. Luckily, my mom taught me it that way, right? I really like the Nespresso. The Nespresso machine is delicious. And it's just, you get like a double shot of Nespresso every day. That's how I start. What I typically do is scrambled eggs with some sort of veggie. So like, it sounds really strange, but broccoli and eggs is a really delicious breakfast. It sounds weird as I used to hate broccoli. My big secret is I didn't like vegetables till I was 30. I'm 40 now. So this is like a 10-year growth for me. But broccoli and eggs in the morning, fueling yourself with a lot of vegetables and some protein. You might think, well, I need the carbs, and I'm not saying carbs are bad. I'm not saying that at all. Or I need the cereal, or I need the granola bars. And really, if you can start like having, if you're gonna your carbs, maybe like a sweet potato instead, or a slice of Ezekiel bread instead of like the really sugary, heavy things. you're going to start to find like you're not going to bonk, like you're not going to have that 11 a.m. like bonk where you've lost all your energy. You're actually going to feel better when you're fueling yourselves with clean, like vegetables, maybe some eggs and protein. Like Kimberly just said. I've heard people say the good, it went away. Can I see what it said? Or can you, I don't know how to make it, Angela, Kimberly just asked a question, or she made a comment. I don't know how to read it.
Wendy, if you click in the upper right corner where the chat box is, it'll show in the screen on the right.
Yes. Exactly. And that is, so what Kimberly said, I don't know if other people can see it, I'll just read it because it's a really good comment. I've heard people say that good food doesn't taste great, but once you start eating well, your taste buds wake up and you realize how amazing that strawberry is opposed to candy, and how you don't need all the cream in your coffee because coffee's own flavor is so good. Give it a couple weeks and you'll notice the difference. Yes, 1 hour to make that go away. 100%. 100%, Kimberly. And it's like funny because at first people are like, what is this? They haven't had real good food in a long time. And like, that's the other thing when I talk about coffee. I personally like Nespresso because I know it's sourced really well and there's not a lot of like junky caffeine in it. Like if you drink 2 or 3 cups of like crappy coffee, and I don't want to like, I don't know, Folgers or something. I'm sorry if anyone here loves Folgers. You're going to get like really jittery like this because of the caffeine in the coffee beans aren't sourced as well. So the Nespresso, you can really enjoy the Nespresso and it tastes good and you don't need as much. And it puts this like crema stuff on the top so it's still creamy. That's my little. And if you have your own office, like order an espresso for your office, like treat yourself right. All right, so have a delicious, healthy breakfast, a lunch. Again, I try and stay away from like the heavy things. We used to always go out to lunch. You know, when I used to work at a farm, we used to get like French fries and Coke and all this stuff. And I would come back to the office and feel so crappy. So I bring my lunch 99% of the time, especially where my new office is now. There's really not much I can get. But bring your lunch, even if it's leftovers. That's a great idea for your lunch instead of going out to eat. What I used to do too at the office, and even though people would roll their eyes at me and I'm like, whatever, everyone would be excited to order from wherever. I don't know, like I did love THB or like Italian or whatever. And it'd be this like big, heavy thing. And what I finally had to get used, but I'd bring my leftovers and I'd be excited about my leftovers because I made a delicious dinner the night before. And I'm like, I was excited to enjoy them, but everyone was ordering. And I felt at first like left out, like, oh, they're all going to get to order, but I'm going to eat this food. And then until I realized they all would hit like a crash, like 2, 3, and I still felt good. I still had my food and I had to get over the fact like, oh, I wasn't missing out on anything. I wasn't missing out at eating at the same like crappy place, even though it was like free food and everyone was like bringing it in. Like I actually felt so much better just eating the food I had. And that was a hard mind shift. It's a hard mind shift when people are looking at you like rolling your eyes, oh, look, there's Wendy eating her healthy food. I'm like, yeah, but I feel good and I feel better and I'm working on my results. So that's what I'm working on. Like when I first started my journey, like I lost 16 pounds, like it was hard. Like I had to put in some hard work, but I'd rather put in that hard work and feel good than eat the crap just because other people made me feel guilty about it. And then dinner, again, I like, protein and veggies as much as you can for dinner, protein and veggies. The biggest key, and this is what I'm personally struggling with right now, is like dinner and done. Like if you are on a weight loss journey and you are having a lot of trouble losing the weight and you can't figure it out, one of the best things you can do, dinner and done. You eat your dinner, you close your kitchen, you go to bed. Going to bed is the easiest way to not snack at night. For me, like I know, it's my trigger. I sit on the couch with my husband. I want to have wine and I want to have snacks. But just make myself go to bed. And I say, okay, Kirk, we'll hang out one night a week on the couch. Like one night a week, like I'll be like the fun wife, But the rest of the time, I just need to go to bed so I can be the best me. So we've now talked about working out and nutrition. So those are all sort of like the obvious ones. And also, if any of you want to reach out to me after this, I can help set you up with a program if you're interested in that. I can help set you up with an eating plan if you're interested in that. Oh, good. I'm so glad. That's amazing. So the next part, and this was like the big shift for me. The next part is like boosting our self-confidence and what we can be doing mentally as attorneys to safeguard us from everything else. And I will tell you that in the beginning of this whole like journey, like I had friends that talked about these personal development books. I'm like, what's that? Like, I'm not going to read a freaking book. Like that's for like, I thought the whole thing was silly until I read a couple of really good books because my friends kept talking about them and they've helped me so much as an attorney. And the first one is something called the 5-second rule. And that's by someone named Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins was actually an attorney herself. Now she's like now she's like an author, a talk show host, all these things. But the 5-second rule is what I was alluding to before when I said I found something that works better than Skittles and better than jelly beans. And that's the 5-second rule. And it's not like you drop food on the ground and you can eat it so long as it's within 5 seconds. What Mel Robbins talks about in the 5-second rule is that anytime you get an inclination to do something, and it can be something like, if you remember back to law school, and you wanted to raise your hand, but you're really nervous because what if your answer was stupid? Or what if your answer like wasn't good enough, or it wasn't the right answer? But you really wanted to like say your opinion or like weigh in on the discussion, but you're nervous. What Mel Robbins would tell you to do is go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand. Like, it's like you have that inclination, and if you don't act on it in 5 seconds, you're not going to do it. So pretend I was going back. I could talk to law school Wendy, who maybe had a good idea, but she was too scared to talk. But Wendy, 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand and go. So where I've used that in the attorney life is like, okay, I really have to delve into getting all this discovery out, or I really have to respond to the letter that I really don't want to, or I have to call so-and-so attorney who always drives me so freaking crazy that I need to talk with them. So, we need to push the case forward, but I'm either nervous about it or I don't want to do it, but I know it's necessary. Because of the 5-second rule, I'm like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dial. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, open up, like start the discovery. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start your timer to work on whatever it is you need to do for work. And I will tell you, I have used the 5-second rule in so many different situations that, oh no. Are you guys still there? Oh no. You guys there? Are you guys there?
We are here, yes.
Did you hear me with that? My son, sorry.
I can hear you.
That's good. That's good. My son tried to call me and it went to my computer. Sorry. So I've used the 5-second rule in so many different situations, like situations that I've either been like nervous about doing something and I need the 5-second rule to prompt me into action, or stupid as I'm going to walk away from that bag of chips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, walk away. I've used it as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, wash your face at night. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like something like no one really wants to do that at the end of the night. Maybe you do. I don't know. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to do my work. I'm going to do this project. That has helped me immensely. So I strongly recommend that everyone either read or listen to the 5-second rule. I actually listened to it I bought it on Audible and I listened to it on when I used to have a commute. We don't really have commutes anymore lately, but it's so powerful. And I'm barely scratching the surface there. The other book that really, really helped me as an attorney was Girl Wash Your Face. Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I know probably a lot of you have heard of that book, perhaps. I don't know why Carl's laughing over here. It's a really good book, and as a lot of you may know, I recently went off on my own about 2 years ago, and that was for a variety of reasons. I was a part of an amazing firm, and I needed, reading that book and doing some other things, I realized it was time for me to branch off, for myself and for my family, and to best serve what I want to do with whatever the trajectory of my life is, and for my families, etc. And reading Girl Wash Your Face, she breathed so much fire into me. It made me realize as a lawyer what I needed to do next, and have the confidence to do what I need to do next, and realize if you are going to have a career change, you are the only person that can really decide that. If someone on here needs a career change, they want to go to a big firm, they want to go to a small firm, or they want to go solo, but they don't even want to practice law anymore. You're the only, what that book taught me to do as an attorney is stop looking sideways and stop looking at other people and see what they would think, but instead of asking myself. So if you're a lawyer on here and you're wondering what is next for you, especially because COVID has been so bonkers, I know in terms of a lot of people's jobs, I know a lot of friends are getting laid off. It might be, I know Girl Wash Your Face is it's geared more for females. I think it could be great for anybody. But just from the perspective that you are the only one that at the end of the day that takes care of you and that truly knows your heart and what you want to do. So that was huge for me as an attorney. And the other one was The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Was really good in terms of, as lawyers, we hold ourselves to the standard that's sometimes impossible. And it's really freaking, and our clients hold us to a standard that's impossible. And everyone holds us to the standard that sometimes is so hard. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be trying. We should always be trying to be our best. But to realize that we're all human and we all have flaws that was helpful too, in terms of realizing we're all in the same boat. It's not like anyone, I'm sure some people think they're perfect and everything's wonderful, but it was like really great reading that book to realize that we all suffer from feeling imperfect. All right, and now healthy lawyer. This workout's gonna be very steamy. The last part of the presentation is talking about how to be a healthy lawyer and how to approach your day as a healthy lawyer. And this is more in terms of probably people who need to bill hours to earn money. So what I think is so important, the concepts can be applied to every single profession. How many of you go into your office or you sit down at your computer, and instead of having a to-do list, the first thing you do is open up your Outlook, is you open up your emails, you see all those unread emails, you see all the emails that came in from the night before that morning, and you immediately just start like tackling the emails, like tackle, and you're tackling emails and putting out perceived fires until like 2 or 3, and then you finally get to do your work, but then you get the call from school or the call from wherever you have to get home, and you never actually got to do your project. And when we do that, and like I'm guilty of that sometimes too, when we do that, what we are essentially saying is that all those other people, pretend like Smith, Doe, Bob, and Brown, pretend like those 4 clients like were like ragging on you that morning. We're basically saying that Smith, Doe, Brown, and whoever, that they're the CEO, that they're in charge of your day. And that's so not true. You are the CEO of your day. You get to decide your day. And so what I really tell people to do, like to the best of their abilities, is don't look at your email. Don't necessarily even answer the phone, but like know what when you sit down at your computer, know what 2 big projects you want to get done. Sit down, do those, get them done, then look at your email. Otherwise, if you're just like playing like email tag all day, you're never like, all you're really doing is like not stirring the pot in a bad way, but like stirring, not getting anywhere. And you're just going like, you're spinning in circles. And you're not getting any balls moved from A to B. And to be the best lawyers we can be, we have to be moving balls from A to B. If we're just going in circles, we're not doing our job effectively as a lawyer. Or if you're just like doing what everyone else says that you need to be doing, like you're acting like everyone else knows more about your day than you do. So that is something that I know I struggle with it sometimes too. Like today, like I hadn't been in my office for several days, so I started like looking at all my emails just to understand like what the heck was going on. But at least I'm consciously knowing what I'm doing isn't great. Whereas some days I'm like, okay, Wendy, like you need to work on these 2 agreements because you need to get them done and out. Like I'd say, no, Wendy, you are not looking at a freaking email until those 2 agreements are done and out. And just minimize your distractions, minimize your Outlook, minimize your Facebook Messenger, minimize all of those things. Another thing that I like doing to really make sure that I'm like doing well, like as a financially smart lawyer, is what you might even want to do if I use Clio to keep track of my time for billing purposes. And so saying what I was just saying, if you need to work on these 2 or 3 cases, you can actually preload your day. Clio has timers, so it knows how much time you're spending on each matter. And what you can do is say, okay, tomorrow is like May 30th or whatever. Okay, May 30th, I know I'm going to work on the Doe case and the Smith case. And you can preload it, Doe and Smith. So then when you come the next day, you look at your Clio or you look at your time software, you already know exactly what you need to do. You sit down at your desk, you hit start timer, and then you start working. And then right there, to-do list not only you've already written it, you've actually already populated it so you can start billing for your time as well. That I have found hugely, hugely helpful. Because the one thing you don't want to do as a lawyer, again, coming back to being lawyers, our time is money. I know a lot of us here, we make as much money as that we bill. So really be careful and like truthful to yourself in terms of, or true to yourself is what I'm trying to say. Don't give it all away for free. Like if that client hasn't paid you for 2 months, think about, it might be time to remove yourself from that client, as hard as it may be. Just like Rachel Hollis says, no one cares about you as much as you. That client isn't going to care about you as much as you or you getting paid. And if they haven't paid for 2 or 3 months and there's no talk about it, it might be time to make that split. And similarly, and this is, I really only know from a family law perspective, quote a retainer that's appropriate. Make sure if you have a case that's coming in and you know that it's like tons and tons and tons of contested custody issues, don't give that person $1,000 retainers. You're going to spend $1,000 in a week. So just make sure that whatever retainer you're quoting to your client is accurate for that particular case. And again, make sure you're actually capturing your time. I see so many attorneys not actually capturing their time, which is why I really like preloading Clio, because the minute you touch a file, it's like when you're started working on a file, you hit your timer. Make sure you're being true to yourself, and also make sure you're being true to yourself and your clients and getting your bills out on time. Again, I'm a solo, so I can talk about this from a solo perspective. On the first of every month, the very first thing I do is run my bills, check them, and get them out. Because if you let your clients, like if your clients don't see a bill for 3 or 4 months and have no idea how much time you've incurred, like that's not fair to the client either. And it's not gonna be fair to you because they're probably not gonna end up being able to pay it. So how does all this work with COVID? So I talked about 4 things that are very important, and how does it all work in COVID, and how has COVID made it harder and easier? And I will say, like, you know, confession time, it has been harder for me. It has been harder for me to be dinner and done. It has been harder for me to like not have wine more often, you know, more often on the weeknights, because there's no urgency right now at all. And it's really hard to struggle against the fact there's no urgency. There's no trials, there's no hearings, you don't have to be in the office at a certain time. In fact, lots of us aren't going to the office. So that makes it hard. So I'm sure for me, what I do is I know it's not as good as it can be as when I'm actually working. Like we're coming into the office daily, but I check in with myself a lot. I check in with myself. Okay, Wendy, what's your anxiety level? For me, because that's where I can tell, like if the scale starts going up more than I would like it to go up, or if my anxiety starts going up. Like, okay, Wendy, that's when you need to check it. No wine tonight, go to bed early. Going to bed early might mean I go to bed before my kids. And luckily my husband's pretty nice about letting me do that. But like, if you think you need to go to bed before your kids, like do so. The other thing is you will do so much better when you have a plan. For example, 2 weeks ago, I mapped out my nutrition, like meaning what I was going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Had it all mapped out, and it was beautiful. I did that for 2 weeks in a row, and guess what? I felt amazing. I had the food. It was good. It tasted good. Everything was great. This week, my mom was in town, so I didn't really map out my foods. I don't know why I didn't. I don't have a good reason. I just didn't. I guess I didn't feel like it because a lot of us are tired. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I get tired and stressed and sick of it. Like I'm sick of cooking sometimes, or I'm sick of this whole thing. And so I didn't have a plan, and because I didn't have a plan, sometimes I don't have the good stuff to eat. So I have not felt as good. So the best thing you can do right now for yourself is A, cut yourself a break. No one's perfect. B, you can work out every day. No matter what, everyone now has more time than ever to be working out every day. If you're saying, well, I can't, as I have kids, bullcrap. Like my kids are 6 and 4. And they all, no, they're not 6 and 4. I'm lying to you. They're 6 and 8. And I did my workout this morning, and they were running around like crazy people the whole time, like doing obstacle courses and whatever. And you just make do with it. Is it annoying to do yoga with 2 kids running around like crazy people? Totally. It's totally annoying to do that. But you can still get it done. And I would implore you not to use that as an excuse. So everyone can be working out. Everyone can be making a nutrition plan. Everyone can be sticking to it as best as they can. It might only be, 80% of the time. And to give yourself a little bit of a break. I think that is what I wanted to talk. Is there any question? I know I saw some, Kimberly, I think she wrote she had to go. Oh, good. Thank you. Any questions about those 4 topics before we get into the workout portion? Or anything? No questions? Is everyone ready to work out? So I'm going to move you this way now. Whew. So everyone needs to stand up. And now I'm going to make myself big on here so I can make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. It like zooms in so much. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. I wish I could see you too. Well, sorry, I'm playing with this a little bit. Okay, let me get down like this. All right, so what everyone needs to do is make sure that you have you can either have sneakers on or bare feet. I'm doing bare feet because I want to prove to you that you can do this anywhere. Here we go. Make sure you have like water handy. And what I have done is I've developed this workout, and we're going to first warm up, and we're going to work our legs, cardio, arms, and core, and then do a little bit of a cool down. So again, I wish I could see you all. I'm going to sort out the bunkers. All right, but what we're going to do first, and I'm just going to have faith that you guys, I'm going to want to see you. So I'm going to have faith that you can see me. Hold on 1 second. We're first going to warm it up. So everyone start jogging in place while I'm trying to figure this thing out. All right. No, it's not working. Okay. So everybody jog in place. Do a nice little jog, get a little bit loose, put up your hair if you need to put up your hair. That's what I'm going to do. And hopefully the people downstairs won't be driving them bonkers right now. Everyone keep jogging in place. Just feel good. And as you're jogging in place, like kind of get all nice and loose. I know a lot of us sit at a desk so often and we feel just all sorts of crickety crackety. So keep jogging in place and kind of give it a little stop. And then let's do some nice over-unders with our arms. And as you're going over under in your arms, I don't know if you can see yourself, if you can just see me, but like see where your shoulders are. Like see, are your shoulders up here? They're down here. And the one thing I know all of us have such a hard time doing is making sure our shoulders stay down and away from our ears. I'm going to do some arm circles. Again, getting really nice and stretched. You should see here. Really nice, stretched out. And Angela, Shani, if you need to tell me something, just feel free to interrupt me. Perfectly fine. All right, ladies, a lot of us on here, we have so much tension in our hips. So as part of working out or warming up, I really like to make sure we are getting some nice movement in our hips and just do hip circles. And you should feel a nice little stretch here and a nice little stretch here. Try not to overextend. And again, try and keep your shoulders down. But do some nice hip circles to each side. We're going to continue to stretch out a little bit more with our hips. So what you're going to do is cross one leg over the other. Nice. Sorry. I'm going to cross one leg over the other and really like reach the other side. So what you should do, your right leg should be in front of your left leg, like that. One leg over the other and reach. Get a nice reach. You can even pulsate a little bit. You should feel a nice stretch in your hip. And then do the other side. You should, again, feel really nice all along here. And I don't like always like just hold a stretch in a certain way, so I like to pulsate it a little bit so you're really like working on all them little places. Reach, reach. All right, so we're gonna do our arms again, over and under with our arms. It's going well for everybody. And then last, we're gonna come onto the ground and we're gonna stretch out our legs by doing something called spider lunges. So everyone get on the ground like this, okay? And then put this right leg forward, like sort of like runner's lunge, and move through that movement. Don't just stay static. Don't push it where it's like too hard, but have it be nice and static. I like to really roll on my toes, if you can see that. And then switch to the other side. And roll on your toes and really feel like you're going to feel it here and here. And again, I know we all sit way too much. We all sit way too much. So this will all help really open up our hips and open up our legs. That makes sense. Loosen our legs, other side again, so we can get a good workout. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to basically do it like this. We're going to do a leg movement. We're going to a cardio, an arm, and a core. And we're going to do that 3 times. We're going to see how much time that takes and then see if we're going to take it up a notch. And as we go, I'll give you some modifications to make it easier or harder. All right, and this one a little bit more. And just make sure you're feeling good. All right, so now everyone stand up again. Okay, everybody stand up. Everyone's up. All right, now what we are going to do, we're going to start with a leg squat thing. There we go. And sorry you can't see my top, but all you really need to see is the bottom. So you want to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. And I want you to come down into a squat and then come up on your toes just like that and up. So we're going to do 20 of these. Now, if this is too hard to go on your toes or on the balls of your feet, just keep it like this. Otherwise, try and do this. And when you do that, we're doing 2 things. We're doing that when we do the up on our toes, we're activating more of our glutes and we're activating more of our calves and Achilles. And ladies, if you wear heels, our Achilles are probably, most of us have disasters as Achilles. I've lost count. I'm going to try and pretend this is 11. So you come down, and when you come down, you want to try and make a right angle as much as you can, and then come up. Now you'll often hear that I say, make sure your knees aren't over your toes, and like do your best there. Some of us are just built that way, so as long as you're not like this, that's okay. Your knees might be slightly kind of where your toes are. All right, up, and we're going to say we have 3 more. Woo. I'm sorry, we have no music. Maybe music on at home. 1, 2, 3. kind of change that one on you at the end. All right, so that's our legs. And next we're going to do a little bit of cardio. So we've worked at the reason I put the legs first, to work those big muscles first before we do cardio. Now for cardio, we're just going to do about, until I stop talking. Everyone start jogging in place. And do your arms like this. We're not doing jumping jacks, but we're doing jumping jack arms. And we're jogging in place. Okay, so jumping jack arms, jogging in place, jumping jack arms, jogging in place. And we're going to do this for about 30 seconds. I'll tell you when to stop and get your heart rate up. Now, if this is too hard, just instead, pull up a knee just like that. You can just march it in place. Wave your arms. If that's too hard, march in place. Okay. If this is too easy, you're like, come on, Wendy. Full on jumping jacks. Okay. Right now, we're just doing this. And then now, so we've worked a big muscle group. Now we're doing a little bit of cardio to get our heart rate up. And next, we're going to go into arms. You guys ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Stop. I really wish I could see your faces. All right. And we're going to do, first start with wall push-ups. Here's the wall. Okay. Okay, see me? So for a wall push-up, you're just going to have your hands in front of your shoulders. You're going to be on your toes, and you're just going to press into the wall like so. Can you see this? Who knew this? I'm glad I have you on the laptop. I'll say that much. All right. Aha! Here we go. So like this, and we're going to do 20 on the wall. Okay, and you're just going to just make sure your body's a nice straight line. Hopefully you can hear me. Make sure your elbows aren't going out too much like crazy, that they are more just, your elbows should be pointed mostly towards the floor. And then again, body nice straight line and be up on your toes. And this is just like a nice way, get a push up on the wall without it like killing you too much and your head being too close to the ground. I think we have 10 left, so we'll go 10. Keep it nice and smooth. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Your eye gaze should be like kind of at your thumbs. 3, 2, 1. And you should have felt that a little bit in your triceps and a little bit in your chest. All right, and then we're going to finish this set with Russian twists. So everyone sit down on the ground. And also, like I said before in the beginning, I designed this so you don't need anything but your body. Put your legs slightly up, and you're going to dip each way. So you're going to dip. You're going to do a side crunch each way, and you shouldn't just be like twisting and not feeling anything. I really want you to feel it right here. So we're going to start. We're going to do 20, so 10 on each side. 1, 2. You should have your elbows sort of hit the ground and point. And when you're doing that, you should really feel there and there. You should feel this in your obliques. And keep your legs up. 7, 8, 9, 10. Really make sure you're crunching right there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Think of it too as getting your elbow as far back as you can go, so you're really getting that crunch. 18, 19. There you go. First set is done. It's 12:45. All right. So now we're going on to legs again. So for legs, this next time we're going to do a pulsing lunge. And again, I have some modifications for you here. Okay. So we all know what a lunge is. Whew. We all know a lunge. I'm sorry, guys. So lunge, you should have two, when they say 2 right angles, that'll be up. Right angle, right angle. All right. And then, so again, your knee shouldn't be over your toes like that. It should be closer like this. So everyone look, if you have a mirror, or if you can look at yourself in the camera, see how you're doing. And we're going to do 10 pulsing lunges on each side. So they're going to go, so everyone put your left foot first and right foot back. Get into that nice 90. You're going to pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And even though they're just like little, and then we're going to switch legs, even though those are just little baby movements, everything should feel on fire. All of this should feel on fire. We're going to go again for 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to hold on to something, that's fine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And coming out of that, all right here should hurt. All of that should hurt. All right, next we're doing cardio. And then for that, we're going to do high knees. So the modifier is you're just going to step it, okay? You're just going to step your high knees, the modifier, just like this, okay? And if you want to make it hard, you go as fast as you can. If you want to be normal, just go like this. So we're going to do high knees while I talk with you all. Again, the same thing. You should feel your core right here. Everyone go. Make sure you're all doing it. I can't see you. So anyone else watch the Dave Matthews thing last night? I know exactly how you feel now. But just make sure you're getting your knees up. One way to see, put your arms straight out like this. Hope I'm not trying to put it under the nuts. And like your knees or your legs should be hitting your hips. Go. Now if you want to make this harder, spread your arms. Want to make it easy? Jog it out or step it up. The high knees. We're going to do 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, people. I'm assuming you're doing great. And then arms. Okay, we're going to do, what do I call this? Tricep. What do I call this? Whatever, I'm gonna do it my way. We're gonna do some tricep dips. Okay, so how we're doing that here, everyone get on the ground. Everyone get on the ground. And what you want to do, we're gonna really make sure we're working our tricep. So if you can see how I am, your arm should be behind you. Again, like right around where your shoulders are. Pick up your butt, and then we're gonna dip like that. And here's the thing, I don't want you guys just going like this. That's not doing anything but moving your butt and like, I don't even know. Really, the only lever that should be moving is right there. All right, so we're gonna try and do 20 of those. You ready? So see how your, see how your elbows go right back. 2, 3, and you should really feel it in your triceps. 4, 5. Make sure your core is zipped together. Like, what does that mean? So imagine your abdominal wall is like 2 halves. Imagine that it's all zipping together, like 2 halves, like left and right. And imagine it's all coming nice and together, and you're like sucking it in, like literally suck it in to make sure you're getting a nice, I haven't lost count. I'm gonna do 4 more. 4. Make sure it's like nice and tight. 3, 2, 1. And what you should feel is all right here. It should be hurting. Should definitely be hurting a little bit. And then for core, now we're going to do a plank tap hold. Okay, so what I want you to do is everyone get in a plank position. And for plank, you all know you need to be a nice line. You shouldn't be, your butt shouldn't be down, and it shouldn't be too high up. A nice flat line, just like this. Okay, is everyone in plank? And we're just going to tap our left and right. So what this should feel like, and we're going to do it until I tell you to stop. Basically, it should feel like almost like these little baby crunches. And if this is too hard, I just want you to hold a plank like this. If it's too hard, hold a plank on your hands instead. But if not, just get on your forearms and do left and right. And again, you should feel almost like you're tipping your pelvis in a little bit. Make sure your butt doesn't go too high. And then you're going to feel this nice little like baby crunch in your abdomen. We're going to do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Your quads might hurt too. 3, 2, 1. Hold. We're going to hold for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Everyone can do a little stretch. I'm sweating like crazy. Let's do a child's pose. And child's pose, make sure we're not done yet. We're just taking a little stretch. Your knees are like that, are out, and you lean forward. And I always like to sort of squeeze it out, squeeze each shoulder like this. Make sure it feels really nice and good. And guys, that plank, you should have felt it in your belly. And also you probably felt it in your quads as well. And it's supposed to be that way. All right. So what time are we at? Yep, we have time to keep going. All right, here's the next exercise. This is something called the bear, and there's lots of ways to, again, to make this easier or harder. And this is going to really burn here. It's going to burn here like crazy. All right, so again, I'm going to show you from the sideways perspective. All right, so everyone needs to do is get into a tabletop position. Your hands should be directly underneath your shoulders, and you should look like a table, right? Right angle here, right angle there, right angle here. So you see right angle here, here, and there, right? All right, everyone put your toes on the ground like this. Everyone should have their toes on the ground. And what you're going to do, we're just going to do a little practice first, okay? Just lift up. Lift up and look under, and your knee should be hovering above the floor, like 1 inch. Get up and back down. Do you feel how that is? So you'll feel a little bit in your shoulders and your arms, and you're going to feel it here. So we're going to do that again. Everyone hold there. Okay, hold it. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. And then you can either come down or you can do like the next part, okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Take a nice little stretch. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to walk it out. If this gets too hard, just hold a normal bear, okay? So by walking it out, this is how we're going to do it, okay? Your left leg will go to your left, and then your right leg will follow it. Your right leg goes back into the middle. Your left leg will follow it. Your right leg goes to the side. Left will follow it. Left comes back into the middle way. So basically, most of your weight should still be evenly distributed. You're going to feel some on your hands, but you should make sure that, again, you're pushing back enough. You really feel in your quads. So we're going to go left together, right together, right together, left together. Do that 5 more times. Left together, right together, right together, left together. That's 1. Left together, right together, right together, left together. 2. Left together, right together, right together, left together. Your shoulders and your quads should be burning. Okay, 3 more. Left together, right together, right together, left together. 2 more. Left together, right together, right together, left together. Make sure you have that core in. 1 more. Left together, right together, right together, left together, and down. Whew. And what you'll notice through that exercise, if you do it again, your knees slowly and slowly start to rise more off the ground the more tired you get. That is called bear, and that is one of the ones I love to hate. Love, love, love to hate that one. Is everyone sweaty? I hope so. All right, bear. Cardio, everyone stand up. We're going to do one of my favorites, which is something called a skater. And there's modifications here too. Here we go. All right. So we're going to do 20 of them. I'm going to show you the different breakdowns first. The first way, you just go like this. And I don't know if you can see what my feet are doing, but one's going behind the other. So you hop, 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 hop. Okay, so this is intermediate version. But if you're basic, I just want you stepping side to side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. And that's the basic, okay? This is intermediate. And hard is going to be all the way down. Spring up, all the way down. Spring up, all the way down. So I'm going to do the intermediate, all right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you use your arms. It's really helpful. 5, 6. I like pointing my elbow the direction that the other leg's going. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do the last 10 harder. Who else wants to do it with me? Let's try it. Let's go. 1, or 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So you feel like a skater? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we did the cardio for that section. And now we are doing, what are we doing? We're doing some crab walks. Yes, your triceps are going to hurt, but ladies, you're going to thank me because it's tank top season and people want tank top arms. All right, so what we're going to do here now is a bit of a crab walk. So again, everyone get into this position where your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your feet are out, and you come up. All right, we're going to walk right, right, left, left. Just like so. Watch first, and then we can do it together. So right, right, left. You know what? I think we're gonna like it this way. I'm trying to see which way I like it better. I like it right and left. All right. So we're gonna go forward to the right, from forward to the left. We'll see how we feel. Okay. So everyone, butt up, Hands right underneath your shoulders. We're gonna go 1, 2. Your arms and legs should be moving together. 4. Now let's come back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then take a little break. Your wrist might hurt. Do this with your wrist. Make them feel a little bit better. We're gonna go that way again and come back. You guys ready? All right, so everyone, hands underneath your shoulders. Push up. We're gonna do 4 again, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, that was a good one. All right, now what we are going to do next for our core is a sit-up arm lift. I'm gonna show it to you first. All right, so you're gonna start all the way back with your arms over your head, and your legs are gonna stay on the ground like this the whole time. So one leg, like, watch this one first. Hands over your head, and we're gonna scoop. So arms come up, and we scoop. Really make sure you have your core in. Come up and lift up, and then like you're sort of like peeling yourself off the floor, and then peel yourself back on the floor, and put your arms back. We're gonna do 10 of those. Are you ready? So make sure, pretend like you're just peeling yourself on and off the floor. So we're gonna go 10, lift up, and as you're lifting up, make sure you're engaging your core. Come down, nice and smooth. 9, lift in and down. I'm gonna do 8 here. And make sure your eye gaze is sort of looking at the ceiling corner. If you're looking at a ceiling corner, it shouldn't be too low or too high. It should just be sort of tracking where your fingers are reaching. I think this is 6. Counting down. 5. Make sure your shoulders are out of your ears. I know they tend to ride up. 4. Really scoop in. 4. 3. 2 left. 2 to go. 2. And then we have 1 left of this. 1. All right. And all the way down. And we are at, what time are we at? We are at 1 o'clock. So we're going to do just a little bit more, and then we will be all done. Okay. So the other thing I want us to do is we're going to do some more push-ups, but we're going to do them on our knees. I am not a hero. I rarely do push-ups on my toes. Rarely. Okay. So what I want everyone to do, we're going to do 10 push-ups on our knees. So everyone again, it should be a flat line. So knees, I like to put my knees like this. Knees should be, again, under your hips. And then your arms should be slightly more wide than your shoulders. And you're going to come down and up. Now your gaze, it shouldn't be too up or down. It should be a nice level out. So where my gaze is, like I'm looking there, like that way. Do you see that? So we're going to do 10. We're going to go nice and slow. If you put them in like this, it's going to be more of a tricep. We've done enough triceps today. We're more going for a chest, so I want it to be nice and wide. So it should be actually more than just above your outside of your shoulders. It should be, I'd say, 3 inches outside of each shoulder. You ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. My arms are shaking. I don't know if yours are. 4. And what you really want to do here is make sure you're nice and flat. Like you don't want to just be like going like that. That's not good for anybody. You really want to make sure your arms here are the levers. Your arms are the levers, and your chest is just kissing the ground. We're going to do 4, 3, 2, and 1. There you go. I see people are talking. We're just going to do a cool down now. I'm going to make you back into a tiled thing. We're going to do a cool down, and we can all talk a little bit more. All right. So I'm going to put you back to tile. If I can figure this out. Oh, I can't figure it out. Someone might need to help me figure out. Here we go. Tile. All right. I can't see you all. Angela, help.
You should be able to
I can only see myself.
go down to the right-hand corner. There's 3 dots.
I did that. The tile thing, the change layout. I went to, maybe if I do sidebar.
Did you unpin yourself?
I can see people a little bit. Let me try the tile thing again. So this tile is just myself. Oh, there we go. All right, so now I'm glad I can see some people. And while we're down here, let's just sort of like do some more arm circle or arm up, whatever these are called, over and unders again. So what did people think? Was that too easy, too hard, just right for an afternoon workout? Josh liked it. That's good. Then what I also want you all to do, let's stretch out our legs. So everyone sit, one arm out, or one leg out, sorry. Move back. So one leg straight out, one leg bent. Like, I can't think of what this stretch is called for the life of me right now. I just know I do it all the time. And let's switch sides and do the other one. And even though we didn't work our legs so much, we worked them enough that they still need a nice little stretch. The good news about how freaking hot it is our muscles are going to be very happy with all this stretching. Also, because we work so much quads, I want us to do this stretch where, so you're still, pretend that you're like a V, you bring one leg in, so your one leg is crossed behind you. You can see this. And then really like lean into that. So like lean backwards until you get to a point where it's good. You know, stretching is so different for everyone because we're all tight in different places. So I say find where it feels tight, and then that's where you press into it. Then also the benefit of this one, since your arms are sort of funky behind you, you can just stretch your shoulder too. And then flip and do the other leg. Who else is sweaty? I'm so sweaty. All right. And that is all I have for you today, people. I don't know if I can see anyone again. Everyone's hiding.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
What did he say?
I said thank you. That was a lot of fun. It was a nice break.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know I'm sweaty. It's like so hot in here. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. I don't know.
Thank you so much.
What the end is.
Thank you, Cindy. And we had a lot of really positive comments. I know some people had to hop off.
Yeah.
So we are recording this and we'll share that soon. And I just want to remind everyone we're hoping to continue this series through the summer. So next week at the same time, next Friday, we will have a Zumba instructor. And we're going to continue planning out these programs. Maybe we can have Wendy back again. And we'll do some more crab walks and just keep going. So, thanks all for joining. And let us know if you have any feedback. We'd love to hear it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.